Hello there, and welcome back to the Creativity Broadcast. I'm your host, Laura, and I'm here to do another collective creativity reading for us today. And you'll know this reading is for you if you are a creative person, if you're working your relationship with your creativity, working on creative projects, find yourself to be particularly sensitive to the ever-changing energies of the universe. This is for you. This is for us. And here on the Creativity Broadcast, my job, I guess, is just to kind of act like a little bit of a hub, a little bit of a channel to help us kind of make sense of our creative process and have some fun doing it together. All right, so let's get started. As always, as I'm providing this reading, please make sure to funnel this through your intuition. This is not intended to be anything other than support with clarifying that which you need. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a deep breath. And release. It's interesting. I'm seeing kind of on the left side a rock. Maybe it's more of a crystal. It's not a boulder. It's small. Let's get some more information about this. I think we're going to start with the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle today. Hope y'all are doing really well. As I'm putting this spread together, let me just share with you all that it is absolutely so autumnal and beautiful here today. Every season where I live has its particular magic. Autumn, undeniably the most enchanting. It's just incredible. Okay. As of the moment that I'm recording this, Bae and I are maybe a week and a half away from our fall women's retreat falling in. Everything feels like energetic preparation for that. All right, let's see. What do we need to know? What do we got? The eagle. Whoa. The eagle, number 9, spirit, integrity, connection to the angelic realm. You know what's so funny about this? As I was kind of collecting my decks before this reading, because I have them on a shelf and I kind of pull what I feel like might be asked for. I literally looked at my angelic lightwork deck and I was like, nah, not today. And the eagle's like, actually. Anyway, that's pretty funny. Okay, let's feel into the eagle a little bit more. This is the overarching message for today's reading. So we have this absolutely regal creature, spirit, integrity, connection to the angelic realm. Man, eagle. I saw this Instagram reel. Who sent it to me? Did Emily send it to me? It was this guy who was like, my wife is taking me to a workshop where I'm going to connect with my spirit animal or something like that. He was like making fun of it, and then it cut to him leaving and he went, I'm an eagle. It's really funny. Before I read from the guidebook here, I just want to say a little bit about spirit animal. So as I'm getting more and more interested in my practice of magic and intuitive hootie-raw over here, one of the things that I'm doing a lot of work around is the relationship between me as a white-bodied person who immigrated to North America. Let's see. In my family line, I think it was probably between 100 and 150 years ago on both sides of my family. Probably from mostly Eastern Europe, Scandinavia. I just said Scandinavia like that's, don't you say like a Scandinavian place? Wow. Anyway, I think my vulnerability in talking about this is making my words very jumbled. Point being that, as a white person, when I'm connecting with spirit, I'm pretty clear that there's so much support available, and there is a very responsible, in integrity for me personally, way to be connecting with the spirit realm, which where I live is likely most connected to through indigenous culture. So I just want to say, I know I was sort of referencing this Instagram reel that was like, ha ha ha, so funny. And I think when it comes to things like spirit guides and spirit animals in particular, because these are indigenous concepts, I want to be really clear that any relationship with that is coming with like so much respect and reverence for indigenous culture, and really doing my best in my day-to-day practice to honor and really, mend the relationship between my culture and indigenous cultures. So I, not to be too like heavy-handed about it, but I think it's really important to acknowledge. And I just wanted to be open that anytime that we might be talking spirit animal in any capacity, I don't want to be flippant about that. That being said, animal guides, because this is Avalon, we're talking about an entirely different culture. So anyway, some food for thought. Just think about that a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and read this, the eagle. Also, last weekend, my friend and I were at a photo picnic in New Paltz, and this bald eagle was like swooping around and having a great time with some roadkill. And I mean, the roadkill was gross, but the eagle was like, oh my God. All right. Okay. When the eagle appears, it is a true signal of your connection to the angelic realm. With the angel's help and guidance, you can soar above life to see the larger vista. Yeah, soaring above. So this is about getting altitude, and not just with our human eyes. It's also getting altitude with our spirit and in connection with the spirit realm. The eagle helps you make your choices accordingly with integrity. When you pray to your angels, they will always answer, for they patiently wait for you to call upon them for assistance. That's so kind of them. Wow. The angels reside beside you, always hoping to aid humankind in finding peace and manifesting abundance and prosperity. The eagle also asks you to remember to soar high above life and look at the big picture. Don't get too caught up in the tiny, unimportant aspects of life. The spiritual world is the real one. Your physical life is the dream. What? When the eagle appears, it's also a signal for prayer. It's time for a moment of conscious contact with the divine. Remember that you're always protected and divinely directed. That rhymes. Always protected, divinely directed. If you follow the guidance of spirit as it appears in the form of the eagle. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, I think we're just going to go straight into, we're going to lean into this connection. Let's go into the white light oracle. Really holding the white light as another way to connect with that realm. I think white light oracle, let's go ahead and ask for those who this is resonating with. When it comes to the eagle, what message are you just so excited for us to hear and to receive? Eagle. Wow. Yeah, I think there's so much to say. I mean, I'm curious if the message of soaring above is like what direction that has you thinking. Maybe it's asking you to elevate outside of small problems. If you're like me, so my human design type is I'm a manifester. And one of the challenges that I have as a manifester is that I can kind of see all the positive aspects of any particular outcome at any, but I have a really hard time looking at them inside of the holistic picture of like everything else going on. So right now, as we're doing some reimagining at West of Wonderland, I have like 80,000 ideas, and I can see how all of them would be incredible. and it's a little bit overwhelming. My comfort zone is to just take action on all and see what sticks. And I don't think that's what's being called for. I think that Eagle is actually kind of asking me to look from bird's eye view at like a longer period of time and see what's really being asked to grow here. Eagle could also be if you feel like a lot of action in one particular area and you're feeling some sense of frustration. It's asking you to probably get like altitude, like literally bird's eye view of the situation and look at like, okay, what negative things am I making up about this? What's actually probably going on? And because you've got bird's eye view, you can kind of take a look at what are the actions to take instead. Okay, so like I said, with this white light oracle, I'm asking, can you please give us messages from Spirit? What do you want us to know? Like from the most love possible. What are you just like itching for us to understand? Okay. Got one. We got two. I think. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Is there a third? Yeah, there is. Okay. Ah! I lost you. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Oh, come on, chair. Okay. Okay, we have Aurora of Gamma. Oof, that's nice. Volva of Seidr. Epsilon. Modulation. Okay, these are all pretty specific. They all seem to be related to the heart. That's interesting. Oh, I wonder if that means anything to you. And there's in these images, there's a lot of like heart chakra holding the chest, like light being emanating from the chest. It's really interesting because I think a lot of the energy work right now is really asking us to open up our heart chakra, like actually feeling and receiving more deeply than we ever have. So yeah, if your sensitivity is up right now, it's probably why. Okay, so we're just, oh my gosh, this is crazy. These are all really close together. We have 27, 28, and 30. So let's just start at 27, which breaks down to a 9, which is actually the eagle. Wow. Okay, Aurora of Gamma. It is time to let go of what has been. You're swiftly outgrowing your past. Isn't that nice? Explore and commit to a spiritual practice that supports your personal transformation so that you can cross the threshold before you now. Embrace your freedom to be creative in your approach rather than doggedly committing yourself to your previous ideas or plans. Yeah, so that is like very affirming of just of being willing to move forward, but not being attached to things that you may have set in motion in the past. You have the spiritual intelligence necessary to evolve. Continue your healing journey with trust that a positive outcome is imminent. Aurora is the Roman goddess of the dawn, the bringer of light and initiatrix of a new cycle or chapter in your life. I'm resisting the urge to sing Sleeping Beauty to all of you. Aurora. Okay. Luminous dispeller of darkness, the flickering flame of hope in the heart that can burn into such a radiant, holy fire that even the greatest challenges do not cause the soul to turn away in fear. Her presence in a reading signifies a fresh start and the overcoming of an old cycle. Eee! That's great. Okay. So, there's a lot here. I love this deck. I love the White Light Oracle. So if this is speaking to you, I recommend getting one. Alana Fairchild's readings are very intricate, very specific. So if any of this, especially the White Light, it's a very gentle, healing deck. If it's speaking to you, maybe it's time to get it. Okay. So this says, Aurora of Gamma indicates a shift into a new cycle, but also the growing presence of the light within, which is the creative light of spirit. Tuning in to that light opens up options for living soulfully, away from the grip of ignorance, no longer constantly ensnared by the compelling, but ultimately fraudulent conjurations of ego. Her new era is an inner transformation with positive external consequences. I'm going to read that again. Her new era is an inner transformation with positive external consequences. Trust in what your inner light is manifesting in your heart and in our world. Yeah, so this is like, the artwork's perfect and beautiful, right? Like it's an eruption of light. It's increasing our capacity for light, continuing to walk in the direction of our own light. And not to sound too Care Bearsy about this, but this is definitely a strong support for like really letting your heart shine. And I think we'll see what these other cards have to say, but I think when it comes to letting our hearts shine, we have to also acknowledge that it comes with an immense vulnerability. We might need to pull back a little bit where we're giving, just to kind of keep our energy lined up properly. We might also need to, I'm getting for some of us, we also need to be more specific about where we're bringing the heart shine, and to look at and perhaps just review what are the supports for that, like who are the supports, that kind of thing. Okay, let's move into Epsilon modulation and see what we've got here. Okay, Epsilon modulation. Okay, we've got number 28, which is a 10. Gather your energies and go within to regenerate. Let your actions match your inner rhythms rather than trying to force yourself to keep pace with external cues. Commit to your own natural timing and pace. As you ground and connect to your center, you will realize your spiritual power to be at cause in any situation of concern. You have such goodness and light within you. Let go of shaming or blaming. Embrace the spiritual beauty within. Reaching inspired spiritual heights requires commitment to developing powerful, deep roots. A mature creative offering takes longer to produce than that which is ephemeral and swiftly supplanted by whatever is next. Does this make sense? This is actually, to me, this seems pretty frankly addressing what I said about some new ideas where, like if you take the long view, you can see which ideas have staying power and you can start to build roots versus, having a habit of just like creating. And then some things may fall off. To embrace the patience required for such building, surrender the need for immediate gratification. Wow, you can't make this stuff up. Okay. We must become so confident in the authenticity and value of our process that we are not in need of external evidence to bolster our courage. Yeah, so I want to pause for this because I'm getting something really specific for me, and I'm wondering if any of you are having like your version of it or like a translation of it happening. So one of the things that I've been reviewing for myself is just taking a look at like, what are all the different projects that I have running? Like this YouTube channel, for example, is one of those projects, and realizing that some of them are actually in places where the sort of like beginner thing isn't quite relevant anymore. And not in the sense that there isn't anything to learn or that like maybe there's a little more confidence, but it's not like, oh, I'm so confident. It's more like I'm no longer going to spend energy wondering if this will work. It's more like there's the train has already left the station and you're more like, okay, like I'm in, I've strapped in for the ride. How many more analogies can I give for this? But like I'm locked in and I just have to keep at this for a really long time. No longer bringing with it the burden of proving if it's worth it. It's more like that phase is over. I have what I need. I'm in this for the long haul. I'm just going to keep going. That's how I feel about this YouTube channel, where I think I've been like giving this so much from my heart and being really excited about it, and also a little bit nervous that is it not going to go anywhere? Is it not worth my time? But to be honest, every time I get a notification that someone new subscribed, I'm like, oh no, like this is for something, not just for me. So thanks for subscribing. And yeah, thanks for like removing the burden of proof for me so I can actually enjoy this. Vulnerability, awkwardness. Okay. Okay. It says, so yeah, just a reminder, the reason that I just like dumped all that on you all is because it said in the reading, we must become so confident in the authenticity and value of our process that we are not in need of external evidence to bolster our courage. Yeah. We can enjoy validation along the way, but must not turn away if it is absent for a time, especially if those around us appear to be moving faster. With such confidence and courage, we will be able to deepen and slow our breath and our restless nature and allow for the inner workings of our souls to manifest beautiful, healing magic. This oracle asks you to ground yourself, believe in your potential, commit to your path, and be patient so great things can happen for you. Although the flash of stunning insight happens in an instant, it follows a complex orchestration of purification and preparation. This is very white light oracle, purification, preparation, P words, but also in general, white light oracle really helps us stay on track with the purest parts of our energy, the purest parts of our intention, the purest parts of our soul that then get translated into other things. So the practice of purifying is actually really important. Again, this feels like a commercial for this deck. I'm not selling it. It's not mine. I just think it's so wonderful. Okay. Anyway, so there's genius in, oh, we got more P words. Okay. So it says complex orchestration of purification and preparation. There is genius in patience and perseverance. They are the hallmarks of nature's long game of breathtakingly diverse creative display. When we immerse ourselves in the sacred feminine wisdom that underpins Mother Nature's rapturous creativity, we live differently. We allow ourselves to not know what is coming next, to not need to have the entire picture before we trust things are going to work out. We use our power to attune and allow, rather than direct and demand. It's a lot of alliteration in this one. I'm liking it. We shift from ego to soul, and in doing so can embody our divine potential. This oracle asks you to trust in what is happening in your life. It doesn't need to make sense in order for you to benefit from it. Okay. Epsilon brainwaves are extremely slow, and their frequency is lower than conventional equipment can measure. They are indicative of the way the brain operates outside of the usual modes of thinking as per the dictates of mass consciousness. In Epsilon state, the brain reaches its lowest and slowest oscillations between 0.5 hertz and just above 0 hertz. In that place, extraordinary states of consciousness are accessed, including a pure awareness of the nature of being. The deepest levels of insight and the regenerative bliss of spiritual emptiness. This oracle asks you to switch off and tune in. The greater perspective you'll find can bring you tremendous peace. So a couple of resources for this in particular. Number one, it's making me think a lot about animal spirit deck whales in general. They're these like giant beings that just exist on like a totally different plane and communicate, and you know, their whole existence is just like a completely different context. One thing that might also be useful in implementing this. Again, I talk about Yoga Nidra quite a lot. And part of what's wonderful about it is that it helps you relax so deeply into yourself that you are both present and also like sweetly like content. And so much can happen in terms of healing and integration when we are regularly just giving our bodies space to go there. So highly recommend that. Man, that's fascinating. Okay, so let's go to this next one, which is just around the corner. Okay. Maybe a little coffee first. Rawr. Look, this mug. It's from Universal Studios. This skeleton actually glows in the dark. Totally unnecessary. Really love it. Okay. Let's see. Your inner spiritual power can heal circumstances in your life and our world in ways greater than you realize. Journey within. Again, journey within. To gain clarity and conscious redirection of your inner energies toward what you wish to manifest. Do not try to control what is happening. Instead, work to bring positive influence to bear so that you may contribute constructively toward shaping the outcome for the greatest good. From the Norse traditions of Scandinavia. Okay, I was right. Why did I think I couldn't say Scandinavia? That's weird. Comes the sorcery of Seidr, the practice of cracking open an egg in order to read and also shape the future. I wonder if that was what I was seeing at the beginning. Remember when I was like, it's a rock, it's like kind of small? Maybe that was it. The egg is a symbol of infinite divine potential and the beginning of new life. Seidr is a mysterious soothsaying or visionary practice, which also involves shamanic healing to divine an appropriate pathway through times of trouble and communal strife. Through prayer, chant, and binding magic, as well as visionary practices in an altered state, all of which are supported by focused collective intention, a powerful healing takes place. The appearance of this oracle indicates that your soul talents, whatever they may be, can be of influence in the world. If you dedicate yourself to personal development for the greater good, you can contribute to the spiritual evolution of humanity. Even if our intentions are pure, believing we know what should happen and to whom and when is the working of the ego and not the soul. We may want the best for all beings, but we cannot know why their path is unfolding as it is or what their soul needs to learn. Seidr is a practice of shadows and spell casting, binding and release, which could be used for higher purpose or personal gain. It dwells upon the borders of morality. The spiritual maturity of the practitioner will determine whether its effects are for good or for ill. This oracle advises us that good intentions are not enough. To ensure the outcome of our efforts is beneficial, we need the wisdom that comes through surrendering into divine intelligence. So yeah, this is about like really waking up your heart and listening. And this is also, I think, a pretty intense call for, again, that review, which is kind of normal during autumn, the review of like, okay, what am I taking with? What am I releasing? And also just having the humility to understand that when we're creating, especially when we have, you know, long-term relationships with our creations, like a business, for example, we are going to be in relationship with everything that business or project will ever touch. So it's kind of its own entity. It's almost like anything that we're working on has kind of like three entities. It's like us, there's the project itself, and then there's the impact and the places where that's going to touch. So I'm kind of getting like in The Lion King where Mufasa's like, everything the light touches. It's kind of like that. And so we have to have the humility to understand that like there's only a very small part of the project that we actually can understand, have any control over. And so we kind of need to be open to receiving support about all of these other pieces, if that makes sense. And to not try to be in an ego conversation about like, I can control this and I know exactly how it's supposed to be and stuff like that. Wow. Pretty crazy stuff. So that's, let's see, we got here because I was like, hey, Eagle, can you show us, like, what do you really want us to know or to see right now? That's pretty crazy. I'm also just like kind of marveling that the very first card also breaks down to a 9. Seems pretty divine. So I think for some next steps, let's go ahead with, I think Sacred Destiny is really speaking to me. And let's see, Eagle, in what direction should we be taking action? Like, what do you want us to know about that? Let's see what it tells us here. Is there another one? Yeah, I think so. What is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay, we got... This is hilarious. We got the P words. You're funny. Okay, so we've got... First, I pulled Potential. We've got this beautiful volcano. The Starry Night. Amazing. And Purification coming through. Okay, there's a third one coming out. What is it? Enlightenment. Let's save it. Let's see what there is to say about that. Okay. Oh, it's hilarious. Potential. Volcano at rest. Volcanoes erupt in places where the Earth's plates meet, and where there are cracks through which lava emerges, either explosively or by flowing more slowly down a cinder cone. Even when a volcano is at rest, there's always the possibility of a huge eruption. Okay. There is the potential of great power. There are very few things on this planet more commanding than an erupting volcano. The archetypal personality of a volcano is one of a wild, unpredictable, and formidable energy. This card appears when you are ready to activate your potential and step into your strength. This is the time to activate those gifts that you've had on the back burner in your life. You have incredible, untapped potential. This is the time to allow it to flow. An inner wellspring of power is emerging. Another P word. You have a profound, again, spiritual power that is deep within you. Do not doubt your great authority and capabilities. A dormant volcano might indicate that you have uncomfortable emotions that you are repressing or keeping inside, thus creating emotional stress and inner pressure. It can also mean that you are on the verge of a great expansion of energy and life force. Eee! Wow. That's very nurturing. Very nurturing. Also, I'm hearing a lot of, in this, another P word, which is permission. Like permission to bring your gifts to the forefront. Permission to like actually win at some stuff. Permission to shine. Like a Care Bear, like let your heart shine, but also like let your ambition shine. It's going to be okay this time. Yeah, I don't know who that's for, but yeah, it's important. Purification, summer rain. I think we got Purification maybe last week. Traditionally, rain symbolizes rebirth and washing one's sins away. Water is also associated with emotions, and a summer rain can represent the release of long-held emotions that allows for a purification and an inner healing. There's also a renewal aspect of rain. The old saying, April showers bring May flowers, means that what follows the rain is a time of renewal and blossoming. It's difficult for new, vibrant energy to enter your life if it is clogged with old and outdated energy. Cleanse and purify your body and your physical space. This is a great time for a detox, clutter clearing, cleansing, space clearing. Release outdated energy to invite fresh, clear energy into your life. This card can also represent abundance, as flowing water is a metaphor for prosperity, and summer is the time of expansion. Wow. That's pretty clear message. Thank you, Eagle. How lovely. And then let's check out this other one that jumped out, Enlightenment. Vast galaxy. Our beautiful home galaxy is so large that if you traveled at the speed of light, it would take you 100,000 years to go from one end to the other. It's small compared to some galaxies. For example, the Hercules A galaxy would take 1.5 million years to cross at the speed of light. It's incredible. The realm of galaxies is so vast and so wide that it is beyond human comprehension, which is why the galaxy often symbolizes great enlightenment as well as faith in the forces much greater than us. Enlightenment occurs when one steps out of the confines of an ordinary definition of self and expands into a greater awareness of the self within the universe. Okay, it's kind of all coming together here in this reading, to be honest. Like, this is sort of what I was saying about like the three pieces. There's like the you and the entity, and then like the wider thing. Like, that's, I don't know if that was making sense at the time, but I think I'm feeling this all getting pulled together. You are now reaching into the invisible realm of spirit and connecting with what you cannot see. Forces beneath the surface are supporting you on your journey. Have faith in yourself. You are so much more than you believe yourself to be. I believe that. Have patience that there is a plan unfolding. The sky's the limit. This card represents enlightenment and signals that you are entering into a time of expansive transformation in a luminous and remarkable way. Trust that the changes ahead are for the greater good, for most certainly they are. Well, that's loving and beautiful. I feel like that was the eagle kind of being like, caw, come fly high. I don't think eagles say caw. Whatever. My eagle says that today. Man, that's funny. Wow. Thank you. Look at this. It's like sailing. It's, we've got this boat and it's just sailing off into like the beautiful vast night sky, just full of wonder and mystery. Maybe this is also just a call to let yourself spend some more time appreciating the mystery, sitting in a bit of wonder about something. Yeah. Pretty cool. Wow. This one kind of blew my mind. So I hope that was helpful. You'll have to let me know in the comments which parts of this jumped out at you. Are you also starting to feel a little bit like winked at, just like I am with these readings? And as always, I'm super interested to know how your creative lives are going. Are these helpful? Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more of them. And if you actually liked this video, go ahead and hit like, because it helps me understand what you guys want to see more of. And it also helps this channel grow. And as always, if you're interested in any free stuff, free resources, coaching support around your creative projects or creative leadership in any capacity, I got a ton of stuff linked below, a lot of which is free. And you can also catch me and Bay Quiney on West of Wonderland podcast every Wednesday, talking about all kinds of coaching and magical nonsense. All right, that's it. Stay well. See ya.